So, you want to become the most powerful wizard the world has ever seen? Good. Very good. This will be your masterclass to Supreme Power, in which I will share the best traits for your gear, talents and spell combos to become an unstoppable god in Hogwarts Legacy. We're not gonna play around with silly 4-spell builds, but instead unlock full potential to mass destruction, let's say, from early to end game. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so here we are in the Quidditch arena. Let's first talk about a couple talents, which you should definitely get your hands on as quick as possible. As I see so many people playing with just 4 spells, it's just painful to the eyes, as you constantly have to deal with cooldown reduction, while you can unlock full potential by using multiple spells, barely ever having to use your basic attacks, and this is also so much more fun. So the first upgrades which you should get your hands on ASAP are Spell Knowledge 1 and 2. As they basically add a new spell slot. Spell Knowledge 3 can also be unlocked at level 16, which you're not gonna need. 12 spells is already plenty to memorize, but what is very interesting if you want to reduce cooldown is to get Basic Cast Mastery, as it also reduces the cooldown of all your spells. This one is not that important, as you're probably gonna have plenty of spells to cast, which will probably already kill your enemies before you're able to reduce the cooldown. So let's first talk about the configuration which I use to easily memorize which spells I have at my disposal and what I can use in which situation. So the first spell bar is basically the one which I use pretty much all the time, especially for single target damage when I have to deal with just a couple enemies. And I think the most fun combo in this row is the Arresto Momentum and Depulso, which I call Arrivederci Totalis, because that's literally what it does. Yeet enemies into the abyss. In the first slot, I have Expelliarmus to disarm my enemies. It also applies a curse, which we're going to talk about later in this video, Unforgivable Curses. But in the second one, I have Transformation. And this one is so much fun to use, because you can literally throw these objects to other enemies. It's probably one of my favorite spells in the game. On my fourth bar, I have Glacius in number 1, which freezes an enemy. So disarm, transform, and freeze all disable enemies. While in the second, I primarily focus on gravity, so I can lift my enemies, halt them in the sky. But in my third slot, I primarily focus on damage dealing. First one is Confringo, then I also have Bombarda and Incendio. The fourth spell usually complements the other 3 in the same row. For example, we can use Accio to pull enemies towards us, then use Levioso to lift them up in the sky, followed up by Incendio to burn every single one of them. While on the second bar, I have a transformation spell, which allows me to create a explosive barrel, throw this one at an enemy, and then also use Defindo and Bombarda to deal a ton of damage. If that's not enough, we always have Avada Kedavra, but the same counts for the first one. Expelliarmus applies a curse, we also have Confringo to deal a lot of damage, and with Arresto Momentum, the Depulso combo, we do Arrivederci, blast away enemies, which is gonna help out big time as well. To make this build a lot more powerful, I definitely recommend you to also get your hands on 3 spell upgrades. Incendio, Accio, and Levioso Mastery make it so much easier to do crowd control on your enemies. Disable multiple ones at the same time or draw them towards you so you can use an area of effect explosion, which is going to work out very well in many situations. While if we check out the Dark Arts tab, right here we can find both Expelliarmus and Arresto Momentum upgrades, which both apply a curse to your enemies. So if you use these spells first and later use Avada Kedavra, you will be able to kill every single one of them with this mastery as well. A final talent which I want to talk about for a second is also the only one which I have in the Room of Requirement tab, which is basically the Edurus Potion Potency, which literally turns you invulnerable when you drink it on the battlefield. So you can resist all the damage. It's going to be super powerful in any situation. Alright, so we've got 2 wolves right here, both pretty angry. So what we're gonna do is just focus on our secondary tab and just transform the first one and throw it at the second, which is gonna be super effective. Literally took us a second to take care of both of them. Okay, so right here we've got a pretty big camp. The first thing I do is always throw an explosive barrel at the ones with a shield so you can easily take them down, while right now it's just a matter of taking care of the rest. So we're gonna transform a weaker target into a barrel, explode it, then use our heavy hitting spells to take out the executioners, toggle a different bar if our spells are on cooldown, then rinse and repeat. So this guy has a red shield, we are on cooldown. Oh no, we just switched the bars and we can instantly take care of him. You've probably realized by now that I deal an absurd amount of damage with even basic spell cost, which is because I have some special upgrades on my gear. Special traits which allow me to deal so much more damage. But the first thing you want to do is upgrade your gear in the first place. So, for example, right here we've got 2 head slots, both with an X amount of defense, but no offense. So if we upgrade these bad boys for a second, just throw some materials at them, you see that we actually upgraded this armor to also have 12 offense. So you want to do this for your best gear, as then you will have so much more defense and offense added. I've got 1 trait on all my gear, which is basically the concentration 3. If you don't have this one yet, definitely make sure to check out my video in the top right of the screen to get your hands on it as quick as possible. But this one actually increases the damage of all the spells you cast. I also see people use Unforgivable 3, which increases the damage against cursed targets. But by the time I've cursed my enemies, they're probably already dead because my spells just deal an insane amount of damage, most of the times even one-shotting them in the first place. Anyways, let's take this build to the arena to show you its full potential, as here you will be able to see all the aspects of it. Everything I do basically during combat, especially when I have to deal with multiple enemies. So what I always do to start off is make myself invisible with this illusionment, as it basically gives you a free cost on your enemies. We can use our Petrificus Totalis, then we can use our Defindo to already deal a ton of damage to this troll. And right now it's already almost dead, so we're gonna have to use one more spell, and there it goes. Then again, disillusionment to turn myself invisible, and now we've got some weaker enemies. So first thing you always want to do is cast the transformation, throw this on an enemy, so we've already killed 2. And since these are all melees, we can basically switch to 1 tap, then cast the Accio to basically have all them at the same spot, Levioso, Incendio to basically burn all the targets nearby, and then we're just gonna freeze this one, and we can wait for spells to go on cooldown and be ready for the next round. We've got 4 this time once again. Transformation spell, bam, throw that on another one, Bombarda, Defindo. I mean, every spell instantly kills all of the mobs, while for the bigger guys you definitely want to use explosive barrels, especially the dug box, as they have a lot of HP. So I'm just gonna transform this one into a barrel, and look at that, we can just instantly destroy these targets. Spider is going crazy. What's very nice as well is that when you have your ancient magic meter ready, you can basically use these casts at the moment when you get attacked by something, especially these red circles, which always deal damage if you fail to dodge them. This will interrupt the cast, and it also gives you the time to toggle between spell bars to see which ones you have ready to continue the fight. Be ready for anything else that follows up. You can do this multiple times to save even more time. But let's move on to the next round. So we've got 2 bigger trolls right here. So what we're gonna do is use Expelliarmus on the first one, so we can apply a curse, Arresto Momentum on the second. Then we're gonna choose a random target to use Avada Kedavra, instantly taking care of the trolls. So we've got a red shield right there. We're gonna instantly destroy that. We're gonna use our Transform to throw a barrel on top of these bad boys, break the purple shield, use our ancient magic, and then we always have time to see what's happening around us. Can stop the time for this guy and disarm that guy in the distance, who knows, but yeah, you can just keep doing whatever you want with this build. Once you've memorized all these spells, it becomes a lot of fun. And I'm not really sure what this guy's deal is, but he simply doesn't want to end the fight. Anyways, there we go. Victory. Once more time, my hands down favorite combo right here, Arrivederci Totalis. First cast Arresto Momentum, then the Pulso to just send them flying. So much fun. Whee! No, he doesn't know what to do, but I'll just help him a little bit. Oh, this is so evil. Poor guy. Oh boy. So, there you have it, a lot of information, but also everything you need to become unstoppable in Hogwarts Legacy. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like, as it helps out the channel big time, very much appreciated. And yeah, leave in the comments down below if you have more questions or suggestions about builds, what you think is the most fun combo to use. I'm pretty curious. Anyways, that is it for today. I want to wish you guys a magical day. Big thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.